Hello everybody, in today's video we'll be going over the Winter War, which was another war that happened during the Second World War, if that makes sense. So the Winter War happened in 1939 to 1940, with the exception because they kept fighting after that, but it formally ended in 1944, but really the main fighting ended in 1940, if that makes sense, because the Soviets wanted Finland, and they wanted some territory, and Finland of course refused. So the Soviet Union invaded, and everybody was like, poor Finland, they're gonna die. And, well, no, they didn't die. They fought back, and they fought back really good. They were basically like, if this makes sense, if you're familiar with World War II, you know what I'm talking about. So the Soviets brought in winter troops during the 1941 invasion of Russia to combat the Germans during the winter, and they did push them back. And basically the Finns were like that, but like on steroids. So they kind of like halted their defense and even pushed a bit farther. And it was one of the most stunning shocks and showed how inept the Soviet army was and gave even more backing to Hitler's idea of invading them. Now we'll be talking about the battles in the Winter War. The first one I'm going to go over is the Battle of Kaliningrad or something. And it looks like, from what it was, it lasted the whole war, and it looks like it ended by the armistice. And I'm going to count this as a win for the Finnish because they had 683 people killed, 50 people wounded, and 130 people frostbitten, compared to the Soviets' 4,000 casualties. So, yeah, the Soviets were pretty bad this time. Now we're going to be talking about the naval activity in the Winter War. And after that, we're going to be talking about the resulting armistice. Sorry about the image. I couldn't find any real naval pictures of it because it was very low, the activity. So basically, the only naval activity was that the Soviets just blockaded Finland from the sea, and they sunk a few merchant ships, but overall, as Wikipedia says, naval activity was super low. After months of harsh conflict, the conflict sort of came to an end with the Moscow Peace Treaty. Now, it didn't come to an end because the Finnish were allies with Germany. They weren't in part of the Tripartite Pact, but they kept fighting, and they sieged Leningrad with the Germans until 1944, and that's when that war ended. It was called the Continuation War. And the Germans just kind of fell apart after that, so they just technically were considered neutral, and no one really knows about this stuff. So I'm happy you guys clicked on this video to learn about this stuff. I'm going to have a second video showing all the other battles if you want to know about that, and see you guys.